propósito sigue siendo el mismo y no habrá política que me pueda detener en mi viaje.
La verdad yo he escuchado que en la frontera de Estados Unidos con México hay militares, también ya hay bastante ejército que nos están esperando. Como nosotros vamos en son de paz, nosotros no vamos buscando nada, nosotros lo que buscamos es trabajo, o sea, lo que queremos es superarnos, vamos en paz para arriba.
In this video, we're going to talk about the process of a person moving into a new country. This connects to socialization because the people joining a different society develop an awareness of its social norms and values. We have chosen this topic because of the current migrant caravan in the United States. There, more than 7,000 migrants left their crime-ridden Hadron city with the hope of building a better future in another country. We decided to conduct these interviews because we want to know more about how moving into a new country affects a person. We will be talking to people that have moved to countries for short and long amounts of time.
Hello, we are here with Julia Crivaro and she's going to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Julia Crivaro and I study languages. I come from Italy and I'm doing the Erasmus experience for 6 months.
Yeah, and how did you feel when you first arrived here?
At the beginning I was a little bit upset because this place is very different from my country. I live in a small village and at the beginning my first impression was like, oh my god, it's so big, this city, and also this is my first experience away from home and I was scared, but yes.
Okay, how do you feel now?
Now I like this place, I have friends here and yes, it's very simple now for me.
And did you experience some culture shock when you arrived?
Yes, like Spain and Italy are not very different, but for example here on Sundays all the shopping centers are closed and like it's hard to find places that like are open. And this is not the same in Italy. For example, like okay, not all the shops are open, but shopping centers and are always open. Yes, every day.
And what was the biggest struggle coming here to a new country?
Yeah, stay away from my family. I think it was the most difficult thing for me, and also the thing that I have a little sister here in Italy.
You spoke the language, right?
Yes, because I study English and Spanish.
Yeah.
So yes, a little bit, but at the beginning it wasn't very good.
Now it's much better.
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay, and can you see yourself living here in 10 years to raise a family here and everything?
Yes, why not? Like it's a nice place and we have everything and yes, it's nice.
So here in Murcia or in
Yeah,
Spain?
even here in Murcia, yes.
You like?
Or in some other cities in Spain.
Okay. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you. Bye.
We are here with Mate from Croatia. He's an Erasmus student who has chosen Spain for his experience. So Croatia is a small country and it must be really difficult to get used to the life in this big country. So how did you feel the first time you came here?
So let's say the first time I arrived, I was a bit confused because First, it was my first time that I'm away from my home, so I just arrived at this big country, and let's say the city is pretty small, so it's easier for me because I'm living in Dubrovnik, and Dubrovnik is also a small city, so it was, let's say, easier to get to university. But in this country there are a lot of more differences in comparison with Croatia and everything, so I could say it was a bit difficult in the beginning.
And you mentioned some differences between countries. What was the biggest difference you noticed between Croatia and Spain?
First, let's say that Croatia get up earlier. Everything is starting earlier, like the schools, like the supermarkets and everything, restaurants. And the thing it's called siesta, of course, because all the Spanish people are sleeping in the afternoon. They are not working, so of course it was interesting and difficult to use to it, because when it's let's say 4 p.m. and you can go into the supermarket to buy some things.
And did any of your life experience you have in Dubrovnik help you get used to this life in Spain?
Okay, yes, I could say it helped a lot because Dubrovnik is a very touristic city. I'm also working as a tourist guide during the summer, so I met a lot of people from Spain, a lot of people from the different parts of the world, and of course it is much easier when you talk a lot with the people from all the parts of the world. So I could say it helped me a lot in this experience over here.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Of course.
And have you experienced some language barrier, or did you know the language?
Okay, so we in the high school we studied Spanish because all my classes are now in Spanish. I'm studying at the University of Communication over here, and I would say it was a bit difficult because the people from Murcia are, let's say, they are speaking pretty badly. They are not pronouncing S's, and it was a bit difficult, of course, at the beginning, but after some time, I would say now it's pretty good.
Tell me, did you have problems with establishing some relationship with people, another Erasmus people, Spanish people?
So I came here alone, and of course there's no so many Erasmus students in my class also. So I could say that here other people helped me a lot.
But can you imagine yourself living here, having family?
Definitely. I could say now, definitely. I really love Spain and this town over here, and the most of all I love people over here because they are really friendly. They help me a lot, and I will be thankful for all my life to them. For me, it was pretty easy to catch everything over here, so I prefer Murcia.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mate.
You're welcome.
And good luck for the rest of your stay here.
Thank you.
Today we will be interviewing Mimi and JD, and first they're going to give us an introduction.
Hi, I'm Mimi. I am 20. I am originally from Egypt and I moved to America. I've been living there for 4 years now, and now I'm in Spain.
Hello, my name is JD. I'm originally from San Francisco. I moved to Jordan. I've been living in Jordan for 3 years.
Very nice. So, when you guys first arrived from Mimi to the United States, JD, Jordan, how did you feel?
I was excited and nervous at the same time.
For me, I was very confused and didn't know the language.
Very good. What were the biggest differences, if there were differences between the countries?
School was really different, and just the environment in general.
For me, it was culture, school, just a whole environmental change, 180 degrees.
What was different about school?
Go ahead.
School in America is a lot more organized. In Egypt, you have a lot of joking around, you have a lot of chaos. In the States, they were really well behaved, which surprised me. there were like no classroom pranks and stuff like that.
And for me in Jordan, it was very unorganized. For me, I had like a huge language barrier problem. I didn't understand the language, I didn't understand the rules, so it took a lot of time for me to adapt in that system.
Very interesting. So going back, I know JD, you said something about it. Did you guys experience culture shock?
Yeah, definitely. I experienced a huge culture shock. I've never seen scarves or hijabs worn in public. So when I went over there, I was very like, why are they covered up? And a whole like, just, it was a whole 180 turn for me, you know, language, religion, culture, food. Yeah, it was a very big deal for me.
And you, Mimi, culture shock?
Yeah, culture shock that it was more strict, and so I got in a lot of trouble at school because I thought we could joke around, but no.
Okay. So I know JD, you said you didn't speak the language before coming to Jordan.
Correct.
Did you speak English before coming to the United States? And I'm sure that made it easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was not hard.
So in your future, if you guys wanted to have children, would you guys have children in JD, Jordan, and Mimi in the United States?
No.
No, I would rather have children back in the States.
I would rather have children somewhere else.
Okay. And why?
I don't want to raise my children in an environment where if they do something small, they will be treated like they are a criminal.
Okay, good answer. So what do you guys think was your biggest struggle in the new country?
The laws.
For me, the language and the culture.
So after you said you were in Jordan for 3 years.
Correct.
And Mimi, how long were you in the United States?
4.
So after 3 and 4 years, did you guys feel more comfortable? Or did you still struggle with some of the things you struggled with when you first came?
I felt more comfortable. I still don't understand some things, but I've become more used to them than when I first came and it was the shock.
For me, I just wanted to stay in San Francisco. I was adapting slowly in Jordan, but I still wanted to go back home.
Okay. And did you guys establish many relationships in your new country?
Yeah, my boyfriend lives there, my mom lives there, my brother lives there, my 3 cousins live there.
For me, no.
No. And do you guys see yourself living there ever in your future?
No.
No.
No. Very interesting. All right, well that wraps it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Give us a wave. Woo!
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Inma.
Could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Emelisa Cotton. I was originally born in Cheshire, in England, which is really close to Manchester. But I moved up to Cumbria when I was 6, so I grew up there. So I moved to Spain in 2012, so 24 years in England and 6 years in Spain.
Why did you move to Spain?
Honestly, the weather.
Okay. How did you feel when you first arrived?
Oh, amazing. It was the best year of my life because it was, well, my first time living in a foreign country. It was hot. I moved to Cartagena and there was a festival as soon as I arrived, and it was just a party here, really.
And did you find many differences between the two countries?
Firstly, the weather, but secondly as well, like how sociable everybody here is, and how there's so much more lifestyles, like outside, like in the street, in bars, in restaurants. It's just much more friendly.
And what was the biggest difference for you?
Oh, lunchtime. The fact that lunchtime here is like around 2 or 3 p.m. By 12 o'clock, my first few months, I was like so hungry every day.
And did you experience any culture shock?
I'd never really been used to working until so late. Like my first academy, I finished like at 10 o'clock in the evening, and then it was to go home, have dinner, and that was quite a shock, everything being lots later.
Did you speak the language of the country you moved to?
Nope.
No. And did you have any family members in the country?
Nope, but a friend of the family has a place over here.
Would you bring your children into this country? Why or why not?
Yeah, I would. I think it's great to bring children up bilingually. And also, yeah, just for the reasons I said before about how sociable it is, how it's quite an outside lifestyle.
What was the biggest struggle coming into the new country?
Maybe in the beginning it was the language. And in the beginning as well I had lots of paperwork to do, like social security, and that was difficult with no Spanish.
After living in the country for a long period of time, how do you feel now?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know whether I feel like I'd like to move somewhere else or whether to stay. I'm really unsure of the future.
Have you established relationships here?
Yeah, my ex-boyfriend was Cartagenero, and therefore I've got a big group of friends through him, and also friends I've made along the way, and my colleagues here. Yeah.
So you said that you don't have a clear idea for your plans in the future, whether to stay or to go to other countries.
Yeah.
So in 10 years, would you see staying here in Spain or not?
Possibly. I mean, and I've also thought that even if I did go somewhere else, I can always come back to Murcia because I do love it. I love this place. I'm feeling maybe there's a little bit of, I don't know.
Well, that's all.
Excellent, thank you.
After interviewing different people living in different parts of the world, it was interesting to learn about the experience a person has when going to a different country. As expected, many people experienced culture shock. From a shock of a complete different way of dressing to having siesta every day, our interviewees need a couple years to gain complete comfort in their new country. 2 Erasmus students have showed less stress beginning in the new country, probably due to Erasmus being their own choice and not forced moving. Socialization happens through people's lives and especially when moving to a new place. School is one of the major agents of socialization. In school, the children learn what is expected of them. When talking about school adaptation, Erasmus students' experience differed from JD's and Mimi's experience. For Erasmus students, everything was easier because university was familiar with theirs arrival, and the interviewees moving to Jordan in USA had difficulties because of a different system, stricter rules, and language barrier.
All interviewees shared mostly the same experience. They were confused and a bit lost at the beginning, but after some time they managed to adapt to a new country. As it is said in the study carried out by Juan Iglesias Martinez, even though this study is more focused in immigrants that are refugees, and as we have seen in these interviews, at the beginning it is difficult for immigrants to get used to the new country and to socialize due to a different language, making their papers without knowing the language, having new laws that you have to follow, and there is not much people that come from the same country as you. In this study, we can find relations with the interviews that are positive too, and it is that the people that had moved to Spain were well accepted. They say that people is very kind. They have made new relationships and they are willing to live here for longer. Change often sounds scary, but as we could have learned from these interviews, it is something worth trying.
El señor Donald Trump es un bravucón, es un propagandista, es un bufón, es un mentiroso, es un cobarde. Porque solo a un cobarde se le ocurre traer tropas entrenadas para la guerra, para enfrentarse a mujeres humildes que van con sus niños en los brazos. Pero señor Trump, sepa usted que nosotros, aunque nos han hundido en la ignorancia, también entendemos las leyes. Y no es usted el que da el asilo, son los jueces.